Please tell me I'm not the only one who thought that they had a crush on Percy from Percy Jackson and the Olympians, as well as Hiccup from How to Train Your Dragon, when it turned out that it was gender envy, as well as the fact that you had a crush on Astrid and Annabeth, who so happened to be their girlfriends. So, you didn't want to date them, you wanted to be them.
Can you believe they're talking about getting rid of snow days and replacing it with online learning? How is my child supposed to learn when it's -7 out and there's 3 centimeters of snow? Even though they're going to be learning online and not have to go anywhere. Bitch.
You're from Vancouver. Y'all got a snow day when it was -7 and there was like this much snow. You are not a part of this. Because bestie, at the same time, Vancouver students had a snow day in -7. Me, an Albertan, was going to school when it was -50. We are not the same. And don't get me wrong, it's not Vancouver I'm mad at about that. I fucking hate Alberta. But I'm gonna be bitter for like the rest of my life about that. That's exactly what I'm saying. Pretty much every single January, we become the coldest place on the planet. Like, specifically where I live in Alberta, we become the coldest place on the planet. I don't know about other places in Alberta, but where I live, we were colder than Mars during a week in January. Mars. Like, not only were we the coldest place on the planet, we were colder than Mars! And I'm not making that up. So, yes, it is very cold. And I had to go to school in that. I thought I was gonna lose my toes at one point because when I was walking between the bus stop and my school, when I got in, I couldn't feel my toes. Like, at all. They were completely numb. It was terrifying.
You know what? I'm doing absolutely fine. Right? Like, I'm doing everything. I got everything going. I don't have time to do anything else. It's go, go, go. I'm at dance school or work, but I'm doing great. Our dance journals in the dance studio at Vic. Of course it is.
Bestie, I'm not even binary.
I'd like to say I'm the same person from yesterday. Nothing's changed, 'cause yesterday I was eager to see what awaited. I wasn't jaded, but no. I can't go back. You seem sweeter, but if I could return, all I learned would be forfeit. I won't go back. Oh, 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 oh. I'm followed by the borderline as I pace forward in my life, seeking the times I'll long for once they leave me. Average, like I never heard that one before. See that one stupid word's why I don't act anymore. One bad review from someone you love, and suddenly it doesn't matter who thinks you're above average. So you stick to writing, nothing else. If you never show off, your only critic is yourself. But now I've learned that I'm not the best. So if you need a failure, you can ask where the nearest is. I'll say look no further than your favorite lyricist. Me, the kid waking up from a dream, realizing his music is the worst he's ever seen. And who cares if it was from when he was 15? It deserves the same judgment. It deserves the same judgment. God, it's so hard to be good for that your work's not good enough for the stage. You've got the skills of an idiot who got too much praise, and your whole damn career's just turned into a phase, and the fire in your heart is beginning to fade. And you're one critique away from considering trading your piano for money. Isn't it funny how average can cut so deep?
You said that you could let it go, and I wouldn't catch you hung up on somebody that you used to know.
But you didn't have to cut me off.
Bestie, I figured it out. What'd you figure out? I'm Aro Ace. Sick. You want to explain? I'm aromantic and asexual. Oh, I remember you telling me you were asexual. That means you don't experience sexual attraction, right? Yeah, and you know that the A in asexual means lack of, right? So, oh, so lack of romantic attraction? Exactly. So you just have no interest in romantic and sexual relationships, right? Yeah, but just remember that being asexual and aromantic, that is a spectrum, so it will look different for each person. Okay, sick. That's a really big jacket. What? That's a really big jacket. It's an extra small. Really?
Everybody's gonna die, and no one's gonna remember you, so still be very careful, because right now we care a lot.
So before you proceed to watching this video, I need to let you know that this is the most important part of the video you are going to watch before anything else. This is going to have spoilers for Spider-Man No Way Home. I saw it the day after it came out, and I've had 2 people to talk to about it, and I have many things to say. So if you have not seen the movie and do care about spoilers, do not keep watching, and if you have seen the movie and or do not care about spoilers, then you can keep watching. Spoilers in 3, 2, 1. Here we go! Well, I guess this is in the trailer, so it's not really as much as a spoiler, but the multiverse is canon, so now it's no longer the MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe, but it's kind of the Marvel Cinematic Multiverse. Isn't that so cool? This part is genuinely a spoiler, so if you've stuck around for whatever reason, you may want to run. Since Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man was in that movie, what about the possibilities of other animated Spider-Man movies, like, coming into play? Obviously, they'd have to find, like, a live-action counterpart to play them, but imagine. Okay, let's keep going. Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, and Tom Holland's Spider-Man interacting is one of the best things I've ever seen in my life, especially when they find out that Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man doesn't have a machine for his web shooters. It just comes out of his wrist. That's one of my favorite things ever. They were like, no, we're not making fun of you, or like, but we can't do that. How does it work? Also, that scene with Tobey Maguire being like, oh yeah, I fought an alien, and Tom Holland's like, yeah, I fought an alien too, in space and on Earth. And he's like, I'm still focusing on the in space part. Then Andrew Garfield's like, I'm lame, and Tobey's like, no, let's go back to the I'm lame part. You are not lame, you are amazing. What's so good about that is the fact that, like, he's the oldest of all of them, and he's, like, genuinely probably the most well-adjusted. Now, if you keep going with this, if you think about it, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's movies are now technically part of the chronological order for Marvel movies. Where does it lie, though? Isn't that so interesting to think about? Another thing is, with the fact that there are now multiple versions of a live-action Spider-Man that are canonical in the MCU, do you think it leaves the door open for more movies with those actors, or maybe even like movies with Miles Morales or Spider-Gwen? With that, is that another second chance for Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man? But either way, I'm really glad that Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man got a redemption for not being able to catch Gwen. Like, oh my god! Seriously, this close to crying in that scene. Now here's my take on the sad bits of the movie. First of all, fuck you for killing Aunt May. What? First Ben, who we never even see, mind you. Then Tony, then Aunt May, and now no one even knows who he is. What? Also that whole thing with Mysterio. Can't the kid catch a break? That's all I can finish. I think it's been over a year since I've done this, but...
Really even
I used to be so beautiful, now look at me. My actions are unbeautiful.
Can I help you with something? Yes, I'm having a crisis. If I go by she and he pronouns, what does that mean? Oh, easy answer. Means you go by she, her, and he, him pronouns, right? Yes? What does that mean? That's all it really does mean, because your pronouns don't equal your gender identity. I mean, if you go by she, her, and he, him, then you could seriously just be a girl. It's completely up to you. How you label yourself is separate from your pronouns. I mean, if you're asking me for specifically a label, I need to know a little more than what pronouns you're comfortable with, honestly. It's more so about how you feel than what you like to be addressed with when it comes to your gender. I mean, some people will say that pronouns and gender are kind of one and the same, but they aren't necessarily the same. And it'll be different for every person. If you maybe identify with the demigirl label, then that's great. You don't need to go by she, they pronouns to be a demigirl. I use she, her, he, him, and they, them pronouns, and I don't have a preference for any of them, and to be honest with you, if people ask me my gender, I just say I'm somewhere under the non-binary umbrella. I don't even attempt to label it at this point anymore. There are just so many labels, and I'm at a point where I kind of identify with all but none. Everyone will have different experiences, especially with gender identity, and if you have any questions about specific genders or anything, specific labels, then I can obviously explain to you what that sort of means or the general definition of those, and then you can see if any of those seem to fit for you. But honestly, you could not label your gender at all and just be like, hey, could you address me with she, her, and he, him pronouns? That'd be great. And that's all you really need to do. Obviously, if it'll make you more comfortable to have a label for the gender as well, then that's awesome, and I hope you were able to find that. But going by more than one set of pronouns doesn't necessarily mean anything for your gender identity. It's really just about what you feel like fits best for you. That sounds like pangender to you, okay? What do you want me to do with that? Why is that your reaction to me saying I don't label my gender? I don't label my gender. This is kind of how I describe it. Oh, here's a label for that. I don't want to label. I've spent a long time trying to label it. I've been through several labels, including pangender, actually. I've tried using non-binary, demigirl, agender, pangender, bigender, and gender fluid. All of them, it's kind of like, I mean, I could use it, but I don't really want to because I feel like it doesn't really sum up anything about who I am as a person. For some people, I do understand that gender labels are important to them, but I'm just not one of those people. And the thing is, I came to a point where the only reason I was even trying to label it was for other people. So I did some grad dress shopping today. I'm just gonna let you know this was the dress I got. But you know, because we bought dresses, and the way it does is they give you a dress, then they fit it to you to make you see how it looks, and then you specially order it in your size. They had to measure me to figure out my size. And the long and short of the story is apparently there's an 11-inch difference between my waist and my hips. I wish I was lying. They measured me, and this is how it went. It went 32, 25, 25. Small, anyway, but then 36. 25 waist and 36 hips. Anyway, you didn't need that information, but now I'm just like, where the fuck? Enjoy the rest of your day.
You don't get a choice in, like, being born or being alive. Someone else makes that decision for you. And then, as soon as you're born into this world, everything costs money! Like, for you to live, it's so expensive. Like, who decided to monetize basic human needs? Like, obviously, they're rich now because of that, but, like, man, if money did not matter that much, how much more comfortable would we all be? Because before COVID, when I used to go to conventions and stuff all the time, the water, like, you could get one water bottle, like, this big, for $4. And you'd be like, but I don't know if I can afford that $4 water bottle because I want to go into a panel or a meet and greet, or I want to get a picture with one of the guests here, you know? Like, yes, I need water, but Mark Shepard is here. Does it matter that much? And no, I didn't pull Mark Shepard out of nowhere. Mark Shepard was actually at a convention I went to once. I didn't talk to him, though, because my friend was too nervous to. When I say my friend was, I literally mean that, because at the time I didn't really know who Mark Shepard was. But they did. And they were like, I don't wanna, I'm nervous. And then they asked if we could just look at him for a bit, and I was like, you know what, okay, I guess. Yeah, I was like a few feet away from the king of hell, and to be honest with you, if I was in that situation now, and I had to choose between the $4 water and, like, getting a picture with Mark Shepard, I gotta be honest with you, I don't know if I would choose water. Like, even when I met Justin Brenner, I didn't pay for anything because, like, my friend just went and got the picture with him. They didn't want to go alone, and then the rest of them were like, no, we don't want to go because we're nervous. And I was like, I'll go with you. So I just kind of stood there, like, freaking out. If I had the money, I would have paid for a picture or something, you know? I wouldn't have been like, oh, but I need a $4 water. Because why is water $4? We're in a big expo center wearing probably a lot of layers. Because, like, we're in cosplay. Or, you know, it also happened at K-Days. It was literally, like, plus 30 or hotter, and people were getting heat stroke. And you couldn't get water anywhere. Unless, of course, it was $4. And I was just like, bestie, I don't have money and I don't want to pass out. I don't have money because I just paid for all these rides. So,